Hello there, my name's Josh Sneesby. I'm a performer, I'm a creative, I'm an actor, I'm a musician, I'm a composer. So I'm a general all-round creative, self-employed artist. At the moment I'm working with the Royal Shakespeare Company on their production of Peer Gynt, but I heard about this hashtag Finding Your Future campaign, so I'm partnering with the DFN Foundation to tell you about what I do for a living and perhaps share some tips and advice on staying on your pathway to employment. Now, I've been sent a few questions here, so I'm going to work my way through them, and hopefully you'll find some of it useful. Thank you very much for watching. So I'm an actor, mostly in theatre. I've also done some TV and some film, but mostly in theatre, and that includes doing all sorts of stuff from West End work to small theatres, dancing, singing, playing instruments, all sorts really. And the variety is one of the things I love about it. You're always learning new things, and it's something that keeps you active mentally, which is a joy. The composing side of my work and the songwriting side of my work, I work often with theatres as a composer, and then as a songwriter I work with Sony and BMG in order to make commercial songs, and both of those provide very different rewards. The commercial music stuff is really exciting because it is fast-paced and thrilling. And then the composing side for theatre is just so diverse, and you're working with a wonderful team all the time, and making music that could be Indian rags or could be dance music, kind of four to the floor, aggressive house, or it could be blues, or it could be absolutely anything. And that variety is just so exciting, and again keeps you mentally aware and keeps you humble as well, because you're always learning things, which is brilliant. I'd say that probably is one of the best parts of my job, the fact that there is so much variety in it, and the fact that you're connecting with so many people from different backgrounds and different belief systems, and yet you all have this shared idea that making work and making art can be an incredibly powerful thing, and something that's impossible to quantify, but absolutely can change people's lives and can make people feel things they would never have otherwise felt, and can give people a real sense of catharsis. So if you believe in those ideas and you're trying to work as an artist in any capacity, I think you're on the right path. The hardest bits of my job are perhaps when I'm not employed. Finding the motivation to continue to work on my own terms when I don't have a job to go on to is tricky. You have to believe in delayed gratification, which is absolutely a thing, but it is hard to know. So when you're working really hard on something for seemingly no reason, or learning a monologue, or learning a piece, or just reading a book that's hard work, and then 6 months or 6 weeks or 6 years down the line, someone will go, have you read that? Have you listened to that? Have you done this? And you say, yes, I have, and I know about that, and I've internalized it, and you get better at your practice and all of this stuff. The rewards appear much later than the work you put in. So being able to put in all the hard work here and hang about for this whole journey until you get to the rewards here, this bit in the middle, that's tricky. That's one of the hardest bits of my job, I would say. But I got into my job because I started playing music when I was a child, just for fun. Didn't learn any lessons formally. And that's an important thing to say as well, that if you love your work and you love making music, or you love performing in any capacity, or you love drawing or doing anything like that, of course, these formal education systems are invaluable and they can help you massively, 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 massively. But do not let not being a part of those systems stop you, because if you believe in it and you're making your work and you're brave with it, then you can develop and you can improve. And if you have the self-determination and the resilience and the structure to be able to continue to do those things with the discipline, then you can absolutely continue to make wonderful work and improve and work professionally in those careers. I got into my job because I wrote shows just for fun, just for myself. And then I did a music degree at the University of Southampton, and someone from the National Theatre saw one of those shows, and I was employed within a week after that, very luckily, to work on a West End show called One Man, Two Governors, which I was the musical director of for a number of years. But it all came about through making work for fun and getting good for fun. And that was a big takeaway thing. After that, I joined the National Youth Theatre, of which I'm an associate artist. And that is an incredible organisation. If you're interested in getting into creative work in any capacity in theatre, be it on stage as a performer, off stage as a director or choreographer or composer or designer, or to be backstage as someone who works in a technical capacity, sound, lighting, stage management. The National Youth Theatre is an incredible place where you're surrounded by people who all share your passions, and yeah, I've made some lifelong friends in that company, so it's a really valuable one to be involved in, and one that if you're interested in theatre in any capacity, I would strongly encourage you to look into that. Lots of friends from the National Youth Theatre and lots of friends from other shows that I do. The beautiful thing is that you always meet extraordinary people on these shows that you work on, because you have to be quite extraordinary to keep on working in this way. I think it's a beautiful way of working, to work in the theatre, and you kind of create tribes, really lovely tribes. So lots of support in and around our industry for all of us. So come join. Let's have a look at these questions here. How many hours do I work a week? And what's the funniest thing that's ever happened to me? Well, I work basically all the time, but don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I'm employed all the time, and it doesn't mean that I'm working hard all the time. Often I'm not employed, and often I'm working around my work. So instead of learning a monologue, I might learn about the context or the history about the time that monologue was written, or I might learn some songs by artists who sound like people that I'm trying to make music like, and I find that an absolute joy. So that's something I do which is work, but is also a lot of fun. And so it's hard to put down an amount of hours I work a week, because you could say I work 10 till 6 when I'm in the theatre, but then often my work begins earlier than that, or I'm thinking about theatre earlier than that, and I'm thinking about it after that. So I'm not sure. But the funniest thing that's ever happened to me, I probably can't divulge it because it's completely inappropriate. There's so much mad stuff that happens, so much extraordinary stuff that happens when we're working. But I can think of a number of stories that involve me or my castmates and 2,000 audience members and accidental nudity. A number of those stories. So perhaps if you want to work in this industry and you end up working in it and you meet me one day, I can tell you a few. Any advice going for anyone who wants to get into this type of work? You need discipline, you need motivation, you need quite a thick skin, you need passion. But if you have those things, don't let anyone say you can't do it, because you absolutely can. You absolutely can. And you'll be much better for trying. I remember my uncle said to me when I told him I wanted to be a kind of creative, well, none of my family are apart from me, and he said, well, look, all you can do is try, and if it doesn't go the way you want it to go, then you're no worse off. You can just start doing something else. So what have you got to lose? If you love it and you believe in it, absolutely go for it. Thank you very much for watching this video. You can find out some more using the hashtag #FindYourFuture tag on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, I'm sure. But I hope you have a lovely day. And once again, thank you for watching.